time for the stream with Taylor. I feel like my stamina is really good. We could be caught up to the deadline, but I have news for you guys. I finished chapter 10. Hello everyone, my name is Hannah Grace Fletcher. I'm a 21-year-old aspiring author currently working on my very first novel project, Project AOS. Project AOS is a YA religious fantasy / science fiction novel. I'm currently on draft 2 and it has been such a struggle to revise. If you are new here, this has been basically the talk of the town since I began this channel for the past, 7-8 months? I don't even know. I have been revising Project AOS. So I'm currently on chapter 9 out of 34. In today's video, we are doing I can change locations, but I can't stop writing. To kind of explain this challenge to you guys, I have to write constantly for 8 hours, but during that time, I am allowed to change locations. It can be a variety of places as long as I keep writing, and I cannot stop writing no matter how frustrated I get with the story. So, as for our locations, we have the park, we have several coffee shops, and I gave them all little fun names. First, we have the garden party, the tea shop, and the wild card, because I am not in the mood for letting you guys know where I live, but I thought that'd be fun to give them cool names. And we have at home, we have several different locations at home. We have my couch, we have the dining table, and we have my writing desk. So this is kind of gonna be like a cafe hopping situation, at least when I end up going to all those cafes, because they are all downtown. So it's going to be really fun to take you guys with me along to different cafes. But we actually have some interesting constraints. Obviously, I have to write for 8 hours. That is just a given part of this challenge. But I decided that I wanted to make this video just even more fun and kind of give potential for disarray. So, if I cannot find a seat, this is not going to happen at home or at the park or at the library really, unless it's just a crazy day at my hometown library and everyone's having a party. But for those cafe shops or anywhere that I end up going that I can't find a seat, I will have to spin the wheel. So basically, if you look at this wheel, what we have are 3 different consequences that could happen if I cannot find a seat. I have to spin the wheel and move on to the next location. At the duration of time I'm at that location, I will have to do the thing that is on that list. Number 1, we have no deletions. This is difficult with editing, but I'm currently on a chapter where I am rewriting it from scratch. So basically, this is going to force me to write through the entire chapter and not go back and make edits. Our next consequence is that we have to switch mediums. I have write on paper here, but it doesn't specifically have to be on paper. Basically, if I'm writing in my Google document, that means I have to switch to my notes app. I have to switch to paper. I will be bringing a notebook with me just in case. I have to switch to something else to kind of get myself in a different headspace, especially if I'm stuck on something. So as you can see, there's a common theme here. All these things are bad, but they're also extremely helpful and could benefit the writing process. The last thing is that I have to write without the project playlist. If you are on here, you know that I don't actually have a project playlist, but there are songs that I listen to over and over while writing this book. And if I get that thing on the spin the wheel, I cannot listen to music for the duration of my time at the location. Fingers crossed that none of those things happen, but we never know. There's a reason that Barnes & Noble is not on this list, and that is because that place is always packed and busy. It's like everyone's having a party, but you know what? Why not have a party about books? Anyway, I am very excited to get into this video. I'm very excited to see if productivity levels increase, like if I move places, because especially when I'm stuck on something, sometimes it's nice to just get out of the house, sit at a different table, be in a different spot. So it's just to kind of see if I can keep doing that for that extensive amount of time. A disclaimer. This is not gonna be me setting a timer for 8 hours, because that in itself is extensive and I still want to be healthy and I still want to be able to write tomorrow. So we will not be doing that, but we will be going from 9 to 5, 8 hours. I believe I kind of have a plan for where I want to go, but I kind of want to keep it a secret until we get to the places. But at most, I think it'll be an hour of driving time. So disclaimer, I will not be writing constantly. Also, when I get to the place, especially if it's a cafe, I want to buy something. So it's not exactly 8 hours, but I think that's a good thing because we want to mix it up. Now that we have gotten to this point, because I'm terrible at scheduling these things, this is the only Saturday that I could film this video this month. And you guys voted on it for this month, so it has to be this month. And I also somehow managed to plan a live stream, which I'm actually very excited for now that I've like kind of thought about it, because it's kind of like a hack. I could be like, oh yeah, this I'm including my writing time, but if we chat for 20 minutes, it still counts. So if you guys do not think that's fair, let me know. I will film this video again. I feel like it's kind of fun. Also, if you don't think it's fair, go film it yourself. I mean, but anyway, we have a stream with Taylor and Wright. I don't know if I mentioned that. We have that at 10. I think it'll run about 2 hours to 12, and then the day is free. But until that point, from 9 to 10, we are going to be picking a location at the home, because me and my husband got a dog. I will show you our dog. Her name is Fish, and we love her, and she is a sweetheart, but I don't want to leave because my husband is sleeping because he was watching her all night, because she will not keep her cone. We tried the cone, and then we also tried like a neck pillow collar. She took them both off. So basically, we think we can trust her, but we don't want her to scratch at her like stitches and everything, and like bite and lick and everything. So we're trying to keep an eye on her. So I am watching Fish. So Fish will probably come with me, and Wright. But anyway, we are on a timeline. I just ranted about Fish for like 5 minutes. I don't even know, I zoned out. But anyway, I'm so excited. This is gonna be a great video, and let us get to our first location. So now you know why spinning that wheel, if I get no deletions, is truly gonna be a situation. Time for the stream with Taylor. Hello everybody. So we just finished the stream with Taylor. It was so awesome. If you guys don't follow Taylor, what are you doing? You need to go follow her. It was so fun. It was so great to see all of you there and to get to write with all of you guys. I just love streaming. It's just so wonderful to just get to write, but to also like it be kind of a social thing and to kind of generate back and forth. And I especially love it because that is pretty much the last thing social that I will really be doing besides talking to the camera for the next 5 hours, because it is currently 12:30. We are going to pack everything up as quickly as I can, and we are going to head out to the coffee shops. Actually, we may go to the library first because my husband ended up buying me a matcha and surprised me. So I was like, this is so sweet. I'm also going to like several coffee shops later, but I love matcha. It's so great. But anyway, we are going to go do that. I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for everything and for joining the stream. And yeah, now things are gonna get crazy. Let's hope that I can find a seat or we are going to have to spin the wheel. Coffee shop of the day. It's going really well, but I thought it would be funny if I gave you guys some insight into how things are going. Things are going very well. I finished chapter 9 and I think I can get 10 done today because the changes that I have in it are very simple, but I realized that I never did something that I needed to do to chapter 8, so I'm going back and I'm fixing it. But every time my characters go to a different location on their journey, they have to answer a riddle. And it was so funny because while I was drafting, I would go so fast and I would get to the end of the chapter that day, and some of them the riddle was at the end of the chapter and I'd be like, I'm literally so close to finishing this chapter today, but I cannot for the life of me come up with a riddle for this chapter, so I just have to wait until the next day to finish. But now I'm racking my brain for a good riddle. Once I get the riddle, I'll go back to chapter 10, do a few small changes, because developmentally it's the same. I think there are just some language things, and also just the way that it's played out was different, so they're not going to be saying the same things about certain things. And I want to be very specific about the way things are working. We have an hour on the timer that I ended up setting. I didn't record the 3 25-minute sprints that I did with Taylor, so those are an addition to that, and we just hit an hour on my personal timer. So we've only been writing for 2 hours and 15 minutes, which isn't amazing, but like I feel like my stamina is really good. I think this is gonna be our last coffee shop of the day because honestly, I drank the matcha and then I drank the tea at the other place. That first coffee shop, I've never been there before. It was really, really good. It was so good. But anyway, I need to stop talking to the camera before somebody walks through the door and sits out here. I'll get back to you guys later. We're going to figure out that riddle and then get to chapter 10. Hello everyone. So we are back home. We're at the couch. It is currently 3:38 and we have 1 hour and 17 minutes, like I said before. Add 325s on there and you get my total time. So as you can see, I have written for 2.5 hours, which seems really small, but I mean, we had our stream with Taylor, which takes a lot of the time off because we were chatting, which I do not regret. I loved it and it was so much fun. But that being said, I would love to add more to that time. I know that I don't need to write for a total of 8 hours, but I think that it would be cool to get up to at least like 5 to 6 today. If I write for another hour and 20 minutes, which I think I'm gonna try to do. And keep in mind, I'm not doing sprints. This is just me recording straight writing. I think that I might try to just jump into this book for the next hour and a half pretty much, and that will get the total up to, what would that be, 4 hours, which honestly I would be pretty happy with. But I'm considering, after me and my husband eat dinner, going out to the library and writing a little bit more. But that was before I got home, because the moment I got home, I feel like everything kind of caught up to me and I'm feeling a lot more tired. I'm feeling a lot more drained from everything. But then again, it might just be like the moving around all day, all like the things that have happened and like all the like I've been doing this since 9 pretty much, though I've been like walking and driving to different places. I must admit, I've been watching YouTube on the drives, like in the background, because I love my Authortubers and I have to watch that content. Chapter 8 is done. I didn't even realize it needed to be done, but it's done. Chapter 9 is done, and I realized that today I need to do chapter 10 fully and part of 11 to catch up with my deadline. And I still have the next 2 days, I believe, to do 11, which means that if I'm able to finish chapter 10, I am going to be pretty much caught up to my deadline. Keep in mind, this deadline has changed so much. It could have changed since the last time I spoke to you. I think the end of it is now sometime in August, but even so, it feels good to potentially be on my deadline instead of constantly behind it, because I think when I set this one, I very intentionally made it so it was reasonable, which is something that I've tried to do, but I don't really think I understood the amount of time that I had to commit to this project. And even if I just do a little bit of 11, I think I'm going to count it as me being caught up with my deadline, which is so good because I was supposed to finish chapter 9, I believe it was on Thursday, and it's Saturday now, so I was like, oh, I'm behind again. But I could catch up. Like, it's possible, and chapter 10 doesn't need too many changes. We could be caught up to the deadline, which is crazy. I am going to get to writing. It is 3:42. We have a lot of writing to do. If you're wondering why it was so long between now and the last location, I had to eat food, and then my husband was like, I'm going to order food, and I was like, I'll eat more food. All I literally had was an egg because that's what we had in the fridge. We have some writing to do. Also, we have not had to spin the wheel. I don't think there's going to be a place that we have to spin the wheel, but I would still like to spin the wheel just for the challenge. But we're not gonna do that right now because I at least want to finish chapter 10 before I spin the wheel. I don't know if that's cheating, but I do want to try it. And then I'm gonna get no deletions and I'm gonna be like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened in my life. That's why I can't spin it now. This is the last location unlocked in my home, so I mean, theoretically, let's say I repeat a location, maybe I have to spin the wheel. I don't know, we're figuring this out in real time, but we'll see. After this, we might go to one more location, but we'll figure it out. had to take Fish on a walk, and then I ended up getting on my phone for a while because my camera died, and I was like, I can't film, and I'm at a good stopping point. But I have let my camera charge for about maybe 30 minutes, I think now, and I'm ready to get back to writing. But I have news for you guys. I finished chapter 10 in like, I think 45 minutes, like really, really, really fast. And while it's not perfect, I think that it is good for what I'm trying to do, and especially with the deadline that I want to make, I think I'm gonna call it good, which is crazy. It's a really short chapter, keep that in mind, and I didn't have to rewrite anything. It was just a few bits of dialogue that were incorrect, and so I changed those, and I finished chapter 10. So we are on chapter 11, and based on my deadline, I only have to get a fourth of it done tonight. So barely anything. And I was gonna go to the library, you guys, but I just checked and it closed at 4, so we can't go. I don't know where we're gonna end up writing in here. I think I'm just gonna stay on the couch because it's comfy. But to give you guys an update on the total time, we're currently sitting at 1:49 on this. We're just gonna call that 150 because there were occasions where I literally forgot to click it for like the first 5 minutes of writing. So like 150 plus the 115, if I can actually do math, that is 150 plus 115, that's 305. So we've written for about 3 hours. So at this point, the 8 hours has officially ended, and I wrote for 305, and I think that we are going to write chapter 11 like I said. But first, we have to spin the wheel. If I get no deletions, I'm literally going to crash out. You guys, I'm so scared. Please don't be no, please keep going, please keep going, please keep, okay. You don't know how badly I was going to freak out because I want to use a lot of the stuff in chapter 11. I read through it. I don't want to like delete and rewrite the whole thing, so that was really good. And you know the funny thing, you want to know something so funny about today? For the entire time that I have been writing, I have not been listening to a single thing. I tried to, but my headphones were dead, and so I did not listen to anything. And I guess I will continue not listening to anything, which I'm actually so fine with that. If you guys want to try this challenge, I highly recommend it because I kind of want to talk about how it's been so far a little bit. Like I said before, I started to lose my stamina, but I feel like the changing of the scenery kind of helped get rid of some of the dead space, because every time I went to a new location, obviously there was time in between, but it was kind of like a reset in my brain. I was in a new place, I just set up all my stuff, so I was ready to kind of pour as much as I possibly could. And then at the point when like, oh, I was ready to go somewhere else, or I was kind of feeling like I'd reached a good stopping point, I would go somewhere else rather than go do whatever. It was just, I had my traveling time to the new place, and that was it. Also, for the cafes that I went to, they were very nice. The first one that I'd never been to, the Wild Card, I have to go back because that place was so nice. There were so many seats. It was extremely well decorated. I got a tea, so I didn't try their coffee, which I'm assuming their coffee is even better because I just had loose leaf. So like, that place was so good. And it's downtown, so on the weekends parking is free, so I think on the weekends I'm definitely gonna go there more. But I've really overall just enjoyed the moving around. In some ways it's exhausting, and I don't think that I'd on a daily basis without filming this video move around as much as I did today, but it was still so much fun. Also, I'm sorry we didn't get to go to the park, but when I was sitting in that cafe, the second one, it was so hot. But yeah, it's going well, and we are now going to continue to write, which I'm actually sad about because I was excited to start listening to music with no project playlist. official end of the video. I wrote for a total of 4 hours in this video. You saw the 2 hours and 45 minutes and add 1:15 on there from my stream numbers, and I wrote for a total of 4 hours. It's currently 6:54, so it's almost 7. So I wrote from the hours from 9 to 7, so 10 hours. But like I said before, there are a lot of in-between times for transportation. Plus, I think the majority of those was me yapping with Taylor, so that explains a lot. But anyway, I kind of wanted to talk about numbers and statistics and how I felt overall. So I ended this draft with 82,264 words, and I started it with 81,066. So we actually gained a good fair bit today. I'd like to say that I got fully through chapter 9 and chapter 10, because while I had done some previous work on chapter 9, a lot of it was stuff that I ended up spending a good chunk of time just looking through and making sure it looked good. So I think that it was really good there. I know that you guys saw that I got the book that my book is inspired by out because I wanted to do some rereads for like some setting inspiration. Did I reread the full thing and spend a ton of time researching for 3 months? Yes, but sometimes it helps to have a little refresher, especially for little details that I think would be cool to add kind of an ode to in the story. So as for if changing the scenery, if I think that it helped, I really think it did. I think that it calls for balance though, because this is not something that I can do every day, just because it costs a lot to kind of go to different places, but it's kind of helpful to know that there are other cheap options. Like, I could have gone to the library, I could have gone to the park if it was not absolutely so hot outside. I can go to various different locations within my home and kind of have that brain reset. So I think that changing the scenery definitely helps with my productivity, and it's something that I'm going to utilize because I have been doing this on and off for 10 hours today. Besides my break earlier where I walked fish and got on my phone for like 15-30 minutes. Like, that is actually insane. And though I feel tired, it's like a good fulfilled kind of tired. Right after you like exercise, I'm saying that like I exercise. Like right after you do a good workout and you're so tired, but at the same time you're really fulfilled. That's how I feel. Like, I just feel so fulfilled for having accomplished so much in the manuscript and have gone to like so many different just really nice comfy places. Even when it came to spinning the wheel, it was actually harder than I thought, because especially when I get home, I really love to listen to music to kind of get in the mindset of my story, especially because I hadn't listened to anything all day pretty much. I was kind of waiting and anxious to get home so I could charge my headphones and listen to music, and I ended up not being able to. But I think that having that element was really, really fun, and I loved like getting to see what could happen either way. And like, even though I didn't listen to music all day, it was a very good writing day. So it kind of brings me, I don't want to say out of my comfort zone, but it pushes me to do things differently, and therefore to kind of reset my brain and my writing and my motivation and momentum. But anyway, I am so glad that you guys have come to this video. It was so fun to film. If you guys film your own I can change locations but I can't stop writing video, please tune me in. Like, I will be there. I will be sat. Like, that would be so cool to have some of you guys film one, and it was really beneficial to me. But also keep in mind, every single location I traveled to, there was at least 15 minutes kind of in between those things, and so there were breaks. It's important to give yourself free time to kind of like sit outside of it, but also it's important to have that discipline to say that like, if I'm pushing hard and this is not working, I can move to something else. I ended up switching and doing research. Like, there are other things that you can do that still give progress towards your whip and still take up time that is very important, that isn't maybe as strenuous or as stressful as it can be sometimes as putting down words on the actual page. And it still benefits it. Honestly, I think it benefits it more, because you're doing the thinking that goes behind the words that you need to do to be successful. If you guys made it to the end of this video, comment down below, is there a map emoji? I don't know if there's a map emoji. If there is not, Comment down below your choice of transportation vehicle, and I am so excited to have filmed this video and to have gotten to spend this time with you guys. Thank you again to everyone who attended the stream. I am so proud of all of you guys and what you guys are accomplishing. This is your reminder that you can write that book. I will see you in the next video. Bye.